promoted you immediately, sorry. Ivone Mirpuri of the Mirpuri Foundation, we'd love to hear that.
Hi, I'm just a doctor, a medical doctor, and for almost 34 years, and I've been working in hormonal modulation, so it's my job every day. And I can assure you that what I see today has nothing to do with what I used to see 10 years ago. I used to see menopause at 50s, and now I see menopause at 40s and at 30s. I see sexual dysfunctions at 30s and at 20s, and it was a common thing to happen only to elderly people. Obesity has become an epidemic, and menses, the early menses, the first menses that girls have used to be in our grandmother's time at 16, and now we see girls with 8 and 9 with the first menses. So something is changing, and we are forgetting what was normal, and we are seeing many disturbances in the hormonal system because something is happening, and we must be aware of it. So, what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers that are released mainly by glands, many glands, and this has a point or not? No. That are released mainly by glands all over our bodies, and they travel through the bloodstream to target cells. And hormones control everything in our body. They control our blood pressure, our heartbeat, our water content, our mood and emotions, our blood glucose level, our weight, the weight we have, everything in our body, every metabolic process in our body is controlled by hormones. And hormones tell cells what they have to do because they bind to a specific receptor in that cell. It's like a key in the lock. Hormone A only fits the receptor, the specific receptor for hormone A, and hormone B doesn't fit the receptor for that same hormone. And EDCs, that are endocrine disrupting chemicals, are chemicals that mimic the shape of that hormone, so they go to the receptor instead of the hormone, and in the receptor they can enhance the effect of the hormone, or they can block the effect of that hormone and do abnormal process, sorry about my English, and this can wreak havoc on the endocrine system and cause severe consequences. So it will be, that we could say that we had a Stone Age, a Bronze Age, an Iron Age, and now we are on the Plastic Age. And the number one EDC is plastic, as a matter of fact, it's plastic, because in the composition of plastic, we have some materials, some molecules like bisphenol A, but there are others like phthalates and benzene, formaldehyde, or even vinyl chloride. There are many other molecules that mimic the estradiol on the receptor, and so they go to the receptor of estradiol and make some changes that will make some disease in our body. And those molecules that are like estradiol in the structure, we call shadow estrogens. We can find them all over around us, in our perfumes, in the shampoos, in the industrial chemicals, as you know, but in many personal care products, like our soap that we wash the hands. So we must be very, we cannot know where they are, because even when there are labels, they are diminutive and they are incomprehensible for the most of the people. So we need an action at a higher level, because people don't know where they are. And there is a list of over than 85,000 of EDCs. So those are the most frequent, but we cannot know by heart all the names of all of them, so it's almost impossible to do something when you don't know about this matter. And if we think that only small doses won't make any difference, because at small doses only the big doses will make a difference, we could not be more uncorrected and outdated, because small doses will make a big difference, because and can make big effects, because when you take in consideration mixed effects, the level risks go up. So, especially in pregnant women, where a small dose won't make any difference for the mother, for the baby that is forming in the uterus of the mother, and is only that chance that the mother has to make a good brain and the organs well formed of the baby. It's only that chance for the mother, and if she's intoxicated with all of these things, she won't have another chance to make a good baby. Many illnesses due to this problem, and fertility is one of them, because fertility has decreased more than 50% in the last 50 years. It's one of the problems that I have almost every day, especially because of low sperm quality, but also by the side of the mother because of the number of endometriosis, that is the lining of the uterus outside the uterus, polycystic ovary syndromes, and miscarriages. Also, male and female reproductive tract abnormalities has doubled in the last 50 years. Intersex and ambiguous genitalia is happening at a speed that we never saw before. We don't know if it is a boy or if it is a girl. It's very difficult many times to make decisions. And also because of skewed male-female sex ratios changes in hormone levels, men are getting more with more feminine bodies, and many times women also with more masculine bodies. And just to you to know, coffee and alcohol make those breasts. And obesity, diabetes, and heart problems that are the illnesses that we see most. 1 in every 5 children is obese, and 1 in every 10 adults is obese. And diabetes that we used to call diabetes type 2 as an adult onset disease, and we see children at 5 with diabetes type 2. It's incredible what we can see today, and it was not usual. And diabetes in some countries are increasing more than 5% a year. And heart attack and heart problems are the main cause of death in all the societies that is said to be civilized. I would say that have more disease. So early puberty is another problem that we have, as I've told you before. And this is related with breast cancer, with psychological problems, with more depression and short stature, and it's quite a problem. And also thyroid issues. Every day in my consultation I have cases of hypothyroidism because of the disease in the environments, with depression, anxiety, weight excesses, and many other problems, cancer, thyroid cancers. So because of decreasing immune function, cancer is increasing, and at a rate that must concern all of us. Thyroid cancer is usually diagnosed in the routine scanner, just in the routine. And the testicular cancer, for an example, since 1943 has increased 400 times more, and because of environment problems. Because we know that some risks for testicular cancers are undescended testes, and reduced anogenital distance, and small penises. And all of these 3 things we can make in the animal laboratory using phthalates. That is one of the components of plastic. So we don't have any doubt that plastic is one of the main causes of cancer. And the breathing problems that children are having and adults. And also a new disease that I haven't studied 30 years ago, 40 years, almost in university. We didn't know this disease, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And now almost every kid are rotulated, I don't know in English how you say, with this disease, and they are medicated already, and they are children, and they give melatonin to babies to sleep, and they give anti-epileptics and other anxiolytics and antidepressants because of these diseases. I think that our brand is also a consequence of the plastic, because it's incredible, you can't do this. And the biggest problems, the greatest risk is during prenatal and early postnatal, where the baby is forming, because it's during this period that the organs and the neural system is forming. So it's a period very complicated and very important for the future mothers to think about this and program the pregnancy. And when we do samples on the umbilical cord of the babies, we find already phthalates and BPAs on the sample. So, and a study made in American pregnant women, we find 99% of women with fluorinated chemicals, polybrominated that you can find in non-stick cookware, polybrominated vinyl ethers that you can find in the plastics like your remote control TV, and phthalates like in the flip-flops that you can have it. And 99% of women already had these chemicals in their bodies, as Emily was telling us. So they can come from anywhere, from the food you eat, from the water we drink, from through the skin, from the mother to the fetus, through the placenta. It's quite a problem that we have, and we all must be aware of it, because in 200 years, humankind will have disappeared. And if you don't think, 200 years is too long, think about our children, and it will be the grandchildren of our children, the persons that we love most. So think about it. They are everywhere. The most impressive thing for me was the plastic in the tea bag. I didn't know the tea bag has the plastic.
Yeah.
So food is the main source of chemicals, because any material that comes in contact with food during the processing, the storage, the shipping, the cooking, any material that comes in contact with food can contaminate food. So we must be, even when you drink one bottle of water that has BPA, and especially if it is on the heat, you have increase in 1,600% in BPA. So water that's, maybe you know, but our weight is 60% water when we are adults, and 75% of the weight of children is composed of water. And water, it's very important, the quality, because they can have lead, and lead causes irreversible brain damage for our rest of our lives. So the quality of water is very important. And we can find over 2,500 chemicals in just a glass of tap water. So all of us are responsible, and we must take action at home. But it's very difficult, as I was telling you. How do we know where they are? Because we don't know the names. We are not working in this matter, in this field. So we need a political action. We need politicians to get more involved, because this problem we have for 20 years, and still no, it's not true, but many private organizations are doing many things. Some with, like Lily and Tian, are doing a remarkable job in UK, but we need a higher involvement, because we can't do nothing only by ourselves and alone. We need all of you. We've seen these shocking photographs before. So, Mirpuri Foundation is committed to turn the tide on plastic on our planet. I want to thank all the organization for having invited us, and especially on behalf of my brother Tuan Cecile. He told me to especially thank you, and I want to thank you all for your attention and for giving my English.
Thank you very much. This was absolutely impeccable. Thank you.